Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Karen's Sizzle and Spice. I'm excited today. I'm making chicken marsala. You know, years ago, I would go to an Italian restaurant, eat something like that and think, oh, I could never make that. But you know what? It's simpler than you think. It's fantastic. Let me show you how to make this. We're gonna use 4 chicken breasts today. I'm gonna flatten them out so they're nice and thin, easy to cook. We're gonna need a little bit of flour. We're gonna be using some brown sugar to add some sweetness. We'll need salt and pepper, of course. We're gonna need some oregano. We'll be using some garlic powder. What makes the sauce kind of magical is we're gonna be using some cooking sherry and some Marsala wine. We'll need a little bit of olive oil today. We're gonna need a good chunk of butter and tons of mushrooms. I love mushrooms. There's never too many for me. And I'm gonna make some, let's see, I need a little bit of lemon. Now you might think, lemon? What? When you're making a dish with a creamy, thick sauce, sometimes it needs just a touch of lemon. It's kind of magical what happens. It kind of clarifies the flavors. It's fantastic. We're gonna be using some fresh garlic, a little bit of onion, and I'm gonna make some mashed garlic on the side, garlic mashed potatoes, which are fantastic. Ed loves this. Let's get this started. Okay, friends, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my garlic mashed potatoes going here. I've just taken, you can use any kind of potatoes that you like. I had some, I think these were Yukon Golds. And I've got a big pot of cold water here, and I want to cut these potatoes all the same size so they'll cook evenly. Just like that. And I'm just going to throw them into the pot, and we'll put this on the burner. We'll get those boiling. Friends, now that I've got my potatoes on the stovetop cooking, I'm going to next flatten out my chicken breast. We want these nice and thin. They cook really quickly and beautifully. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my chicken breast here and I'm putting them out on my board here, you see it, with the saran wrap. And I'm gonna take another piece of saran wrap and put it right on top. And then I'm gonna take my mallet and I can make these things as thin as I like. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I like taking out my frustrations this way. Ugh. You know, guys, I've always said that cooking is great therapy. It really is great therapy for me. Now that my chicken breasts are nice and thin and all about the same size, they're ready to be breaded. Now, sometimes you'll read in a recipe that they want you to add your salt and pepper, your garlic, your oregano, whatever you're using, right into your flour mixture. I find that's diluting the spice too much, so I like to put the spice right on my chicken. So that's what I'm gonna do now. We're gonna put on salt, and we're gonna do both sides as well. You want to be generous with your spice here. And chicken really begs for spice. So we're putting on some oregano. Love oregano in this. And then we're gonna put a little bit of garlic powder on. This dish will be very garlicky because besides the garlic we're putting here, we're also gonna be putting fresh garlic right into the sauce, the Marsala sauce, which is fantastic. I'm gonna put a little pepper on here, then we're gonna turn these over and do the same. Now that I have both sides beautifully spiced up here, I'm gonna take my chicken and just lay it into my flour. You wanna make sure this is coated really nicely. This is gonna help to give a nice brown color to this dish. And also the flour is gonna help to thicken up our sauce. So I'm just gonna put all 4 of these in here, and these will be ready for the frying pan. Now that my potatoes are boiling, I'm just gonna turn them down a little bit. I'm gonna put my cover on halfway like this. And these will take about 20 minutes to cook. Now that I have my chicken beautifully breaded, this is ready for the frying pan. I'm gonna move it over here. But I want to get all my mise en place ready. So I'm going to cut up my mushrooms, my onions, some garlic, some parsley for topping. Because this chicken dish is really pretty quick. You'll be surprised, especially when you cut them nice and thin. So I'm just going to cut my mushrooms here. And you know, mushrooms shrink quite a bit in the gravy, so I don't need to cut them too small. But I do like to just, these are big mushrooms, beautiful mushrooms. I just love the earthiness that they give this dish. This dish is savory, creamy, earthy. It's fantastic. So I'm just gonna get a bowl full of these mushrooms and these will be ready to go. Remember with mushrooms, you don't wanna wash them in the sink. You just wanna take a dry paper towel and wipe the dirt off. These are like sponges, and if you put them in water, they're not gonna taste nearly as good. These potatoes have been cooking for about 20 minutes, and since I cut them pretty small, I think they're ready. I like to take a toothpick, and if that potato falls right off, it's done. Let me drain these. Let me show you a little trick I like to do with my mashed potatoes. I've made them this way the last few times, and I find that they come out even better. So I'm gonna drain them in here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it on the counter here, and I'm gonna let these potatoes kind of steam off and dry a little bit. The consistency of the potatoes is so much better. So I'll just leave this here for a while we work on the chicken.
Look at these mushrooms. Oh yeah, Karen is not the only one that likes mushrooms.
So also in the sauce is some onion. I don't like to overwhelm the sauce with onion flavor. Just a bit in the background is fantastic. So even though I'm making a lot of gravy, I'm only gonna use about half an onion here. The next thing I'm getting ready is my garlic cloves. I've used about 3 large cloves, and in order for them to fit in my press, I actually have to cut them up. So I'm just gonna press them right onto my board here, because then I'll move my board right over to the stove top to get this cooking. You guys, I love this large board. I can chop things up, move them over, and just keep chopping. It's great. You know, if there's ever any gadgets that I use in my kitchen that you're curious to see yourself, or have in your own kitchen, just make sure you click on the title of this video and scroll down. All the gadgets that I use are listed there, so you can look for yourself at them on Amazon, maybe get them for yourself. Also, when you scroll down past the title of my video, you're also gonna see all my important links. I'm on TikTok now, which is so much fun. Take a look at it and give me a like there. You can see my Facebook page there. Lots of fun stuff going on there. Hey friends, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, really, what are you waiting for? I've got a really huge goal for this year. I want to end up with like 1,000 subscribers. I know it's big, but I think we can do it. So be sure to click on subscribe and make sure you check my channel often for new videos. Okay, it's time to mash the potatoes. I let them sit there for about 20 minutes or so to dry out. I'm even gonna go so far as to dry out the pot underneath that I'm gonna mix them in. The drier it is, the better. And a beautiful texture of these potatoes you're gonna find. So I like to start by putting a couple of good tablespoons of butter right into my pot here. And then I'm gonna use my potato ricer. Let me get a spoon here. And I'll tell you guys, if you don't have a potato ricer, you haven't had the best mashed potatoes in all the world. I've never had such a creamy potato as I have with this potato ricer. So simple to use. You just open it up, put a couple of these potatoes in there, and watch how it comes out of there. It's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Like I said, no creamier potatoes can you find than you do with this. So I think I just flung some on the floor for you, Eddie. So I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get all these. You see how simple this is? It really takes little effort. It's beautiful, just beautiful. I mean, look at these potatoes, you guys. They're like so beautiful and fluffy. I love my potato ricer. So now I'm gonna add a little bit more butter to my potatoes. Of course, everything's better with butter. And I'm gonna add some garlic here. I crushed up about 3 cloves of garlic. You can use as little or as much as you like. I'm gonna add some salt. And potatoes, they crave salt. And some pepper. And then look how easy these are to stir with a spatula. Look at that. Look at that. Have you ever seen such smooth potatoes? Now, sometimes I like it this consistency. I don't need it any thinner. If you like, you can add a little bit of milk, but look at this again, Eddie. Look at how gorgeous those potatoes are. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to eat these.
Same here.
Yum, yum, yum. I'm gonna get my lemon ready too. I was just explaining to Ed and I thought, well, I should tell everybody this cooking tip. Sometimes when I make a sauce, especially a very creamy sauce, I taste it and for lack of a better word, it almost tastes a little muddy. And when I add just a touch of lemon to it, it just kind of clarifies all the flavors where you can say, ooh, I taste the parsley, I taste the garlic, I taste all the goodness, the onion, the mushrooms. So I like to press my lemon on the board because it does create more juice in there. And I'm just gonna cut this in half and get it ready on my board for my marsala. I feel so lucky I still have some fresh herbs in my garden. This is end of September. It's getting chillier out, so it's not gonna be for long, but there's nothing like some fresh herbs to really add a pop of flavor to your dishes. So I'm just chopping this parsley up for topping. It's time to start frying up this chicken marsala. I've added a couple big pats of butter to my largest skillet here, my nonstick skillet. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to this. It's the perfect combination for frying this chicken. There we go. And now that it's nice and hot, you can tell by the sizzle, I love that sizzle. We're gonna put our chicken in here. And we're only gonna leave this chicken in the pan for a couple minutes on each side, that's all. We just wanna brown it a little bit. Then we're gonna take the chicken out and create this fantastic gravy. And if any of you have watched my videos before, you know I love the gravy. Have you got the straws out, Eddie?
Yeah.
Just about 3 minutes later, we're just gonna turn these over. Smells wonderful in here, doesn't it, Eddie?
Yes.
We're gonna give these another few minutes. Look at these gorgeous chicken cutlets. These are ready to go. I'm just gonna put these out on a plate here because I don't want the chicken to overcook at all. The chicken does not take long since they're so beautifully nice and thin. We're gonna create the gravy next. Look at that beautiful brown goodness at the bottom of my pan. This is what creates the base for this fantastic gravy. I've just added a little bit more butter. I'm gonna add just a bit more olive oil. And for now, what I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add my chopped onion. Oh yeah. Yum, yum. Can you smell that, Eddie?
I sure can.
As soon as that onion and garlic hits the pan, it's a fantastic marriage. They're having a party in there. We're gonna let this saute here for just a few minutes and we'll be right back. Look at how beautiful this is. The next step is we're gonna add 1 cup of Marsala cooking wine. Oh yeah. We're adding 1/2 cup of sherry, cooking sherry. And we're gonna let this simmer for a few. And we'll be right back for the next step. Now that this is bubbling and beautiful, I'm gonna add 2 heaping tablespoons of brown sugar. Oh yeah, I said brown sugar. You heard me right. Gonna let that melt in here. And I'm gonna add all these fabulous mushrooms. And then to thicken my sauce just a little bit, I'm gonna give this a stir. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to my mixture here, just to thicken it up a bit. And we're gonna give this a few minutes to cook now before we put the chicken back in. We'll be back. You guys, look at this. Oh my God, look at this, Eddie, come closer. Look at how that gravy just thickened beautifully. Oh my God, the smell of this. The whole house smells fantastic. Oh my goodness. I am gonna give this a taste. Let me grab a spoon over here. I forgot. I wanna see if it needs anything else here before I put the chicken back in. Let's give it a taste. Oh, oh my goodness. Like I told you, I want the flavors to clarify a bit. I'm gonna put just a couple drops of lemon in here, just like that. That's all it takes to do its magic. Oh my Lord, this looks incredible. I don't think it needs another thing. So Ed, come on close and let's put these back in. We're gonna nestle these chicken right into the mushroom gravy here. OMG. Have you seen anything that looks so beautiful, Ed? Oh my gosh. Then I'm gonna take a spoon here and I'm just gonna ladle some of this right on top of the chicken. And remember, the chicken is nicely cut and thin, nicely pounded, so we don't need a lot of time here, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. If you're not sure of the temperature, just check with your meat thermometer to be sure it's at a safe temperature. And there we go. Alrighty, here we go. All right, we are ready to go here. Ed is chomping at the bit. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Ed is chomping at the bit here. He cannot wait for his. So I'm gonna get it right here. OMG, look at this, you guys. It's just beautiful. Oh my goodness. You didn't get the straws out, Eddie, for the gravy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Try that.
All right.
Let's see what you think. First of all, I'm gonna try those creamy, delicious potatoes. They're like melt in your mouth, you guys. Buttery, garlicky, just the right amount of salt and pepper. Deliciousness. Would you try the chicken? What do you think?
The gravy is so good.
In other words, you mean I need to get the straws out, huh? Let me give this a try.
So good, because she put the brown sugar in. Oh my God, what a difference that makes.
And you would not know there's any lemon in there. It just sharpens all the flavors inside this sauce. This is fantastic. I hope this becomes one of your new personal favorites. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and come back often to see when I post new videos. We're gonna eat lunch now. Gonna enjoy it to the max. You can make this, you can do this. It's simple, really. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness. Damn, that's good.
Oh, the taste of the chicken. Now you throw in the garlic mash. I'm in heaven.